Hey YouTube family. I know some of you have been wondering where I've been or why I haven't done any commentaries. As I said the prior week, I've been recovering from a surgery. And sometimes I don't have the patience to sit and try to do a commentary if I'm in pain or I'm tired. I'm hopefully within the next few weeks or so I'll be back to my old self. But in the meantime, while I'm recovering, I'm watching the news and I'm concerned about this coronavirus. And before I get into to the heart of this commentary, I got to mention this. Also, this past week, I've had people around me die, acquaintances, friends, and a family member. This week, I won't forget, especially this week, past week, I should say, because April 4th to April, oh boy, 10th would always be etched in my memory. One of my acquaintances, fellow veteran, died of a heart attack last Sunday, April 5th. Little did I know on that same day, my uncle would have a heart attack and be rushed to the hospital. And then the next day, find out that he coded twice. And based on what I was told, in the back of my mind, I knew that he might not make it, but I hoped among hope that he would. Friday night, he coded again, and this time there was nothing the doctors can do. And during that week, I had acquaintances, childhood acquaintances, former classmates. They lost family members to the coronavirus. I'm gonna tell you right now, to those who are listening to me, and some of you may be going through the same pain I'm going through right now. Hold your family close to you. And if you feel that you're sick, go to the doctor, please. Don't try to be tough. If you're out there eating certain foods or living a certain lifestyle, stop. Don't beat your body up to a point where it start to fail on you. Now I know we're not promised forever, because any one of us may be here today, gone tomorrow. But you want to try to live a reasonable life with health if you can. And with this virus going around, it's speeding up people transitioning. And from what we hear different things in the news, they might have a treatment, but they won't have a total cure until sometime next year. And they more than likely they saying probably the summer, fall of next year. And you got people out here just treating this as nothing. They worried about going to church or going to get entertained or whatever. That's not serious. You can have church in your home. You can be entertained in your home. There are people out here who are vulnerable. But I digress. That being said, and maybe I should start off what happened to me last Friday. Besides the people around me passing on, I decided I was going to get up early in the morning and go to the store to see if I can go grocery shopping. And normally I buy stuff on bulk, but as I said, I've been recovering. I've been at home. You go through stuff, and I say, okay, I think I'm well enough to go out in public. But I got there early. Ha! Got up early, went to the store, people bum rush the aisles, for toilet paper, which it still baffles me why people are still trying to buy that stuff like they do. But okay, fine. But I went around the store. The prices were gouged. The meat, certain things that you normally get, like I ain't buying that stuff. I ain't that serious. So I said, in my area you got Sam's Club and you got Costco. And I got membership to both. I try to keep membership to these warehouses and these stores like that. So I said it's early, let me go down the street and try to see if I can find to- toilet paper and some other things that I need, but I wanted to keep going out risking anything. Well, I get there. Normally they open about what, 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I got in line. I was like number 25. I got counted. Now, based on my injuries, I'm not supposed to be standing for long periods of time, because it's painful. And I said I gotta tough it out. So I had to lean on one of the carts that I had. So eventually they let us in, but they didn't let us in till like 9 o'clock. It was letting like 100 people in at a time. So everybody is running, but I'm in pain. I'm like, fuck it. If if it's not that, it ain't meant for me to get today. So when I got to the back area of Sam's Club, they had like wall to wall paper towels and toilet paper. And thank God they did. Because, if you go to places, you buy stuff in bulk. So what happened was you had some Hispanic people running. Now, they see the damn sign. Everybody see signs plastered all back there. You get one paper towel, you get one toilet paper. Well, they had the Sam's Club toilet paper. I forget the name of it. And they had Scott's. And then they had the paper towels, whatever brand that paper towels they use. And they throwing all kinds of crap in their cart. And everybody like, whoa, whoa, what are you doing? You get to pick one. And they stopped putting that on English shit. So somebody was smart to go get one of the employees that was Spanish speaking. They came in and started speaking to them. And all of a sudden, they spoke English all of a sudden. And everybody like, yeah, you know English. Trying to be slick. So it had to be one of a sister had to say, wait a minute. You get one like everybody else get one. Because a lot of people been trying to go back who bought that stuff and hoard it. Now trying to go back and get their money back. And these stores are not taking their money back. But at the same time, these stores are teaching people a lesson. You go in there, you're pushing the employees out of the way, you're pushing elderly people with disabilities, you snatching stuff out of their cars. Y'all seen the videos. And all you can do is just shake your head that people are panic shopping and not realizing that you're giving these companies the chance to manipulate the system. Because if you look at our federal government, they don't even care. They still ain't rolled out no national testing. They don't have the proper equipment. And the current administration really don't care. And a lot of it, I theorize, is because of the election. Now, people sit there and say, no, that's not it. But it is if you sit back and really think about it. When Joe Biden had that comeback in South Carolina and the black vote came out in droves, that scared the Trump administration. And people don't like it when we vote. They don't like it when we're aware of what's going on because we're a perceived threat to the status quo. And when Biden had all the other wins, the political analysts, everybody on TV was baffled. Now I wasn't baffled about it because Biden was the vice president. Some of our brothers and sisters have waxed nostalgia for Barack Obama, and we want Trump out of there. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't vote I just didn't go out and vote because I ain't feeling it. I'm being honest with you. Plus, I'm still recovering. But I mean, I could have if really wanted to. But I'm like, nah. And I wasn't gonna risk nobody getting this virus pushed on me. So, anyways, did a video before I did this little mini hiatus. I said, and I've said this before over the years. I said, when white America gets a cold, we get pneumonia. White America's getting pneumonias, and we're getting dead now. And I knew at some point they would start trying to shift this back on us as a community. And when Mayor Lightfoot gave her press conference, her heart was in the right place. And even though she's not my mayor, because she's the mayor of the city of Chicago, I don't live in the city. I live in the suburbs of Chicago, the Chicagoland area. But I got mad respect for her. You guys don't see what I see, or you guys get clips or somebody's interpretation. But she was calling out the medical disparities that blacks deal with, and we dealt with since our birth. Our parents dealt with it, especially our grandparents and our great-grandparents. They didn't get the proper health care. That's why a lot of them, even though they probably lived a long age, a lot of them had high blood pressure, heart issues, Alzheimer's, all these different things. I mean, it's no cure for Alzheimer's, but they could have been treated. They didn't have to suffer or linger that way. You know, we didn't call them, oh, they see now, you know, all that other stuff that we say. But she wanted to bring attention to it because all of a sudden you start seeing black people dying at a higher and faster rate. And the thing is, this virus did not start in Africa. It didn't start in Jamaica or Haiti or the United States. It started in China. Now, I know a lot of y'all out there saying, well, Donald Trump is saying he's racist for saying China. No, we know what Donald Trump is racist. We know what he's trying to infer. But the virus did start in China because of those wet markets. Now, if y'all don't know what they mean by wet markets, they meat. And they eat any kind of meat. Bats, snakes, dogs, you name it. And the only reason why those people they eat that way is because some parts of that country is very poor. And I think they said like the last 30 years more so, they've been eating that way. That's why you see a lot of these videos popping up more now. But anywho, they said they were trying to trace it. And you know what the cases was getting reported heavy at was in Europe. Or in countries that we have a large white population or whites claim it to be a white country. It was affecting Asians and whites more. Now I know y'all say, well, why is it getting us? We need to understand, when you fly from in and out of this country, you got major cities, major hubs. New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. But the reason why New York got hit so hard is everybody lives in New York. New York got more land, and they got a higher concentration of people. And in our community, we got people coming in our community, don't live in our community. Black people interact with everybody. So just imagine people work at the airports, baggage handling, ticket sales, custodians, curb check-in, cab drivers, Uber. They interact with all these different people, and they taking that stuff home. Or you got people who live in those countries, come back, they going to the library, to a supermarket, to a mall, to a restaurant. They walking down the streets of New York, coughing, sneezing, touching things. Same thing in Chicago. You got people traveling in and out of Chicago or the state of Illinois who don't live in our communities but may have business in our community. We interact with them. We have our business, we interacting with different groups of people. You know that lie that black folks have poor hygiene? We know that's not to be true. We all know what our mamas and daddies, and our grandmamas and our granddaddies and our aunts and uncles told us about having clean drawers and panties on. Don't you go outside the house without washing your ass or combing your hair. Make sure your teeth is brushed. You got get out them dirty clothes. Don't put wear your outside clothes. Get your keep clean. We know better. Now I'm not gonna lie to you and say that today's youth, those who have bought into these negative images of the community, are not practicing good hygiene. Because I don't even think they talk about or correct people like when we were kids. So I remember a teacher would pull you to the side, talk to you, or they would call your parent. I've seen some young brothers go out into these stores, these gas stations, buying T-shirts, putting them on, and spraying cologne. That's not hygiene, but that's just a small group of people. And I had to be fair in mentioning that. But the same thing goes on in Atlanta. You got people coming in and out, and you damn sure in and out of L.A. But because we are not dependent on others, our economy is not set up to benefit us, meaning our money don't circulate. We don't trust each other like we should. We don't have we go to them outside of our community for doctors, lawyers, you name it. So all these people that we interact with, we don't know where they've been. We don't know what sanitation they practicing. So now we're catching it. But guess what? There are brothers and sisters out here, and y'all heard me say this, you got conspiracy theorists, you got conspiracy nuts. And unfortunately, we got some conspiracy nuts in our community. And also, we got people who are definitely afraid of doctors. And I understand why it's like that, and we got to do better in educating our people. Now, I know you're going to say, man, don't be criticizing people. No, we got to. Because we done let a group of people do crap to us. And for the last 50 plus years, we've been so paranoid about getting shots, immunizations, and all this stuff that we've allowed them to define who we are. Yes, I know there have been some people who have said they've gotten shots and there have been side effects. There have been people who have children had shots. I know nothing's perfect. That's going to happen, unfortunately. This is why if you go to the doctor, they ask you, are you allergic to this? You usually say, I'm none that I'm aware of, and they take that chance to give you that medication. And if you start to show symptoms in front of them, if they can catch it and treat you quickly, then they know that in your medical file, like, okay, don't give this person this shot. Let's try something else. Now, I expect the baby boomer generation and older to not trust doctors. I get it. Because when our parents were kids and they found out that the syphilis experiments and stuff was going on and stuff like that, it reinforced what they always knew, that we were always guinea pigs. Because a lot of people today will go to the doctor across the board and have a condition and get prescribed actual medication to help or placebo. To see if it's a psychological thing or see the effects of these diseases on your body. And then a lot of it is based on income. Why do you think that people don't want universal health care? Why do you got people out there want to see other people suffer? I think health care is a right. I think if we got the doctors in a town, yeah, they want to make money, and I think they would be still able to make money. But people are greedy. But also people are evil. What brings me back to Mayor Lightfoot talking about the disparities. We know that we don't get the best health care. At least some of us don't. We have to go in and demand and ask questions. I mentioned some years back that my father went to a doctor back in probably the late 70s, early 80s, and white doctor told my father, black people don't get good health care. Not too many white people are going to be honest and tell a black person how low down other white people are going to be. And then I had a similar incident where I went to a doctor and they say, you know what, most black people really don't get good health care because of their income. I had insurance at the time through my job, and they didn't want to pay for certain things. They want you to pay out of pocket. Why do you think you see people fundraising? Because these pharmaceutical companies, these hospitals, it's a business to them. And I'm not against capitalism or anything like that, but they playing with people's lives. And you have a particular political party, the last decade or so, has been playing around with healthcare. But the ironic thing is when you had a black president that bent over backwards to get citizens health care. That was dubbed Obamacare because that was been a negative. And then some people was against it and realized, oh man, I can go get medicine. I can go get cancer treatments. I can go to do this and do that. All of a sudden they was for it. But then you had some people out here didn't know that the Obamacare was health care, and they was defending it when somebody said, "Oh, this is healthcare. This is what you're gonna get. Oh, that's better than Obamacare." No, it's the same thing. Is it perfect? No. But you have people playing with people's lives. So naturally, you know the black community is gonna catch hell. We've always caught hell. But when Mayor Lightfoot was talking in that about this, you could tell the media wasn't concerned, didn't care, because they cut her news conference short. But before that, they asked Mayor Lightfoot about a damn haircut that she received. Now, as you know, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how long those feeds stay up, but go to CBS 2 Chicago, NBC 5 Chicago, ABC 7 Chicago, WGN 9 Chicago, Fox 32 Chicago, and type in Mayor Lightfoot gets a haircut. Every white person, Hispanic person had some nasty and smart eyes to say. Now the thing was, yeah, she did a video about social distancing and all that stuff. Distancing, excuse me. But the thing is, she talking about being 5 or 10 deep in a barbershop or a beauty salon. The young woman that cut her hair had a mask on, had gloves on. But the idea that a black mayor was coming down on white folk on the north side, because they tried to say, what about the blacks on the west and south side? And I'm going to get to that in a second. But the thing is, they wasn't congregating like the white folks were in the suburbs or on the north side. If you guys saw the image of downtown Chicago, they was everywhere on top of each other. And these are the same people be arguing when they got the virus or some loved one got it. We need help. We need help. But they didn't want to listen to this black woman. So they said, let's go make a controversy. And she checked him. She said, this is what you really want to talk about? Me getting a haircut? Well, you said social distancing. Yeah, but I'm the mayor. I'm the face of this city. I'm on national television. I'm going places. Then you had the governor who she defended just a few days prior, basically left her hanging. Oh, I haven't had a haircut since before this shutdown. And I look like a hippie. He could have easily said, "Did Mayor Lightfoot answered your question?" Or, "We're not here to speak about Mayor Lightfoot's grooming habits." He didn't do that, but he did what a white man would do. I've seen Governor Cuomo. I've seen Governor Newsom out there in California, and these other. They got haircuts. I'm not stupid. But they wanted to mess with this sister. Then on The View Friday, Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Hoiston brought it up, and they went into Lori Lightfoot, but they don't talk about all the other good stuff that she do. But they want to talk about the one time she do something that they don't like. Don't think racism ain't playing a part in this. But the media has done something that takes me back to the early 80s, and I'm a little kid watching the news. When she had the news come talking about how this virus is affecting our community. Now, you guys have heard me talk about how they say we're 12 or 13% of the population, and it kept fluctuating from various newscasts. We're 14 one day, We're 15 the next, we're 19, then we're 20. And then they say, well, the population in Chicago is 30%, then it's 33%. Then they say the population in Milwaukee is 30%, then it's 28%. They kept fluctuating the numbers. This is why that census is important. Because they undercount us. It's more black folks in these cities and is in this country on the planet, period. But that's another topic for discussion. Discussion. I can do it again. Another topic of discussion for a much later time. Sorry about that tongue tie. When Lori Lightfoot had that, because New York, they didn't talk about it in New York. They didn't talk about it in California. But she wanted to point out that, black folks are suffering from this. And she wanted to talk to the community because I think a lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand that we interact with everybody. And they run their ass out of our neighborhoods, and we stuck in the neighborhoods where they're underserved. And I'm not saying every black community is underserved, but there's certain parts of the west side and the south side have been underserved for over 60 years. It's a generational thing. And then you got miseducation or lack of education, lack of resources. In some parts of the black community, you got food deserts. So if you got these mom and pop shops, these foreigners coming in, all they selling is potato chips and pop and candy and liquor and cigarettes and stuff, or bad food, you're going to develop health conditions. But when you got the media now, it's trying to make black people like, well, if black people got this large number, are they the ones passing it around? Let's not let them do that. Because they did that with AIDS. See, this is why we need to have black media. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some brothers and sisters in our community are playing a risky ass game with their lives. You got people on social media passing misinformation. Or you got people on social media mad because they talking about you couldn't go to church on Easter Sunday. Easter's another day. You can pray at home to Jeebus. You want to eat your nice meals? Go ahead, fine. You can do all that. You don't need to go to no church. You don't need to be out there like that. This stuff is passing around. Now, all of a sudden, they did a thing the other day. I was watching ABC 7. And they did a thing where they, and other stations that followed, but they did a report to find out where did it start in our community. They said our community. They tried to make us the face of it. They said that a family member went out of town, went to a funeral, went to a birthday party, went to another funeral, then went to work. But they spread it to other family members. 3 out of that family had died. Others were just infected and whatnot, or they had little or no symptoms at all. You notice every time they talk about the coronavirus, it's affecting the African American community. Then they might say Hispanic, but they notice they don't talk about the Asian community no more. It started in China. You had white folk and Asian folks going back and forth from China and Europe, then coming over here, and they spread across the country. And let me tell y'all something. I have to revise what I thought. I don't think it was just December when they noticed it. Reading some reports, they knew this as far back as maybe September or October. And they said the Trump administration had got briefings last year about this. And Donald Trump is famous for not reading his intel. This president and his administration have put millions of American lives at risk, and I would dare say he should be responsible for the deaths. President Obama and them had a team in place. President Obama warned about this. Even George Bush W. He warned people. You know how W's talk? I'm George Bush. He warned of it. President Obama warned of it. We get Donald Trump in office. It's a Democrat. It's a ploy. Really? This virus doesn't select Democrat or Republican. It goes after living people. You are drowning in your own fluids. It's like a super flu, pneumonia, all combined. My sister called me and said she thinks she had it. She said she couldn't do jack. She's vulnerable because she's in the nursing field. Because at a place of employment, it was a patient that tested positive. My cousin, also in the nursing field, found out there was 2 patients on her floor that tested positive. My aunt, and I got other aunts and cousins in the nursing field, they're at risk every day because they can spread that to their children, their parents, their spouses, their cousins or their neighbors. So now you got the media who's want to do the dirty work and make like, well, in the black community, they just, wait a minute, hold on. We know where it came from. We know how it got spread. So they're going to do is take a conference that Lori Lightfoot gave, and they're going to twist it. And I told y'all in my preview, I said, watch them turn this back on us. We got to be diligent in communicating with our young brothers and sisters, and even our elderly. Stop buying into these internet conspiracy theories about, oh, the virus ain't gonna touch you, or I'm young, or I'm not getting no shots for the flu or these other things. No, don't do that. If they tell you to stay in place, stay in place. Oh, I'm going stir crazy. It only been, what, 3 weeks tops? Oh, my hair's growing. I do what I did. Go online, order some clippers as a man, and cut your own hair. If you're a woman, put it in a ponytail. Or learn, or let it grow out and style a little different. Everybody, oh, my gray is showing. Anybody that hits their 30s, they got gray hair somewhere. Let it go. We're getting older, folks. Excuse me. But this week, they focus on America's haircut, and they're trying to make us the face of this virus. Black folk don't eat rats. We don't eat bats. We wash our ass. We wash our hands. But the thing we gotta do is stop interacting with everybody. We need to have our own infrastructure in place. So we won't be waiting for a check from Uncle Sam. Excuse me. Think about it. Black folks travel, but we don't travel like that. So how all of a sudden we getting hit? Now, I'm going to mention something that needs to be mentioned. Excuse me, I have a cough fit. I was reading somewhere that members of the Klan or white supremacist groups said if anybody in their group get this, it was their mission to spread it in so-called minority communities, more so the black community, cause this upcoming election. That's pure evil, man. You hate somebody that much, you go out there and put your life in jeopardy. Get a virus that you may not survive, but you want to make sure you take us out. And the media is downplaying this. If there was somebody from Middle East talking about this, oh, it's war, we gotta go to war, they terrorists. But here in the United States, we hesitate calling out homegrown terrorism. Again, you got some of our pastors, well, we gotta have a church service. That could your church is not, if it's a non-profit, they ain't gonna take the church away from you. And these companies that like your electric companies and the water company and them, they supposed to give you a payment plan or give you what's the word I'm looking for? They supposed to freeze any billing issues. But people just have to go out there and go to church. Everybody's online cracking jokes about married couples or single people and stuff and all that stuff. That's funny and everything. But all this other stuff about gotta go to church, I'm gonna go stir crazy, my kids going crazy. Try being in the military. Go away to basic training for however how many months. When you cut off for the whole world. Or go off to combat. You're cut off from the whole world. Or just imagine, this should tell kids, if y'all going crazy, then y'all definitely don't want to commit crimes and go to jail. They tell you when you take a shower, when you eat, when you sleep. So if y'all losing y'all heads just over this, man, ooh, what if they don't open? And I don't think they should open the country up, as they say, next month. Because I really do believe that we need to let this dissipate to a certain point. And is the economy going to be screwed up for a second? Yeah. Maybe America and these other countries need to realize that they're not as powerful as they think they are. But y'all going to stop and putting people in positions because they tell you what you want to hear. I'm told y'all, if I wasn't a fan of Hillary Clinton, but if Hillary Clinton got an intel report and they talking about a pandemic or diseases spreading across Asia and Europe, we would start taking precautions. Trump sits in front of everybody and lies right to everybody's face, and you got people who are evangelists and them. Donald Trump is the best thing America had. He told it like it is. I'm like, y'all do know this guy is the reason why a lot of people are in the hospital or in graves now. Now I know there will be people gonna push back and say, "No, he's not. You wrong." Just think about the time. All you gotta do is look at what he's been saying since February. It's only a few people. We got it under control. Well, I do believe that this was going around a lot longer. Just March told off on us. A lot of us who are already sick, those of us brush off as a cold or a flu, we probably already had and didn't even know it. But I'd rather be safe than sorry and them open up everything. I know people say it's easy said than done. I gotta work. We understand you gotta work. And this is what you tell how our country is. We can find money to give out to people. Any other time we talk about, well, we don't have no money and stuff. All these celebrities that be on actually for telethons. Where your Oprah Winfrey's in there? They billionaires, they millionaires. Bill Gates and some people donating money. You ain't heard shit from Oprah Winfrey and them, have you? Right now, this virus is telling how selfish and evil this country truly is. Well, black folks, we already knew this. Yes, there are people out there doing they damn best to help us. Those nurses, those doctors, especially the nurses. Because they got to hook up the damn equipment. They got to monitor you. We should have been thinking them before this pandemic started. Those men and women that flip the burgers and fry your chicken, bag your groceries, scan your groceries, the gas station workers, the janitors. Those are the people that keep this society moving. The men and women in the military who are these various arenas around the country. The Army Corps of Engineers, the men and women in the military, active duty, reserve, or National Guard, regardless of the branch of service. All of a sudden, you got people saying thank you, and it seems like they want to just let's just thank the medical staff. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you want to thank the medical staff, but you got your McDonald's are still open. You got your Popeyes and your Burger Kings. Whatever supermarket is in your region is still open. You got garbage pickup. You got people who the shops are open who are grooming animals or got them in kennels and whatnot. The men and women who are ambulance drivers, your funeral homes. I'm learning firsthand how difficult it is to get a funeral going. But they want to make Black America the face of this now. And I told you this was coming. Mayor Lightfoot and some of the other black folk was trying to highlight how these epidemics or things hurt us in this country. If you know, the Surgeon General, his handkerchief head ass, said this is like Pearl Harbor and 9/11. He didn't mention Hurricane Katrina. He didn't mention any of these other viruses that have affected the black community. You want to make it about white folk predominantly. When you think of World War II, you don't think about black folk, even though black folks died in that war, fought in that war. When you think about 9/11, they don't show black faces a lot. They show all white faces. He kept saying, this is like Pearl Harbor and 9/11. This is our, and then President Trump saying, I'm a wartime president. All these presidents have been wartime presidents since 2001. Bush, Obama, not Trump. But Trump trying to make this is a war. No, this is something that you and the government could have helped slow down, put things in place. He could have signed a executive order for these businesses that manufacture. So you need gowns, we need masks, we need gloves, ventilators. Now, he don't want to do it. He want because he's making money, and it's about politics. It's about this damn election. You see what they did in Wisconsin last week. The governor wanted to move the date a few weeks later. What did they say? Nope. People out there could risk getting sick or dying just to vote. You got people online trying to show you how to wear a mask. People are trying to figure out a way to keep this. People are scared, and I don't blame you for being scared. But don't, especially in our community, we cannot allow them to make us scapegoats, and we cannot allow ourselves to pass misinformation or do the dumb. I get it. Winter, you was inside. Y'all may be a little stir crazy. But this is when you get to see how strong you are. Because what if the government says, you know what? It's too much of a risk to open up everything. We're going to give it another 2 months. What are you guys going to do then? You notice they said since everybody's been stay in place and been a part of the majority of the country, they said pollution has went down tremendously. We as human beings can be the most destructive and selfish people on the beings on the planet. Excuse me. But you guys need to be aware of who's doing what and saying what. Like I said so many times over the years, when white America gets a cold, we get pneumonia. When they get pneumonia, we get dead. Brothers and sisters in New York, Milwaukee, Chicago, Atlanta are dropping like flies. And it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't, and people think, oh, it's a pre-existing. No, a pre-existing condition can make your chance of survival higher. Lower, excuse me. But there are people that was healthy, didn't make it. Don't think because you're 15 years old or you're 25 that it won't affect you. Yeah. There are babies who have died from this. And there have been people who are in their 90s have survived. So you don't know when it's your time, and you don't know how it's going to affect you. But at the same time, I don't want you to get paranoid. Because I ain't going to lie, the other day I was watching TV, watching too long. I sneeze, like, oh, do I have it? I cough, uh-oh, do I have it? And if you do have those symptoms, either you call the hospital or you go to the emergency room or whatever, but you take precautions. And they tell you to self-quarantine, do it. As you can tell, I'm passionate about this. I want to see another year, many more after that. I know life is not long. Life is not promised to us or given. And like I said, last week, I experienced a lot of loss. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I tune on the news and hear about this many people dying, it does depress you. But I saw slowly what the media's been doing. And if you don't watch it, everybody out there talking about them attacking Asians, they're gonna turn it on us pretty soon. They're gonna be brothers and sisters that are trying to go out and work or mind their own business, and people are gonna cost them. Because if they do lift this, a lot of black folks are gonna be treated like shit even more than we normally are. That niggas got that corona. Because they was online saying, look at them black folks over there spreading this all around. They know exactly what they're doing. But we got to be careful not to fall for it. And let me say this again. I don't want y'all buying into this paranoia that some of our people got spreading out here on social media. Don't buy into these quick theories about medication and stuff because it doesn't exist yet. All we can do is use common sense. But we need to make sure black media is on this story. Call not the BS. Because they went after this woman at a press conference for her hair when she's talking about how this virus is affecting the black community. And they didn't want to hear it until they got a chance to make the narrative story. Well, it was disproportionately affected black America. Wonder why? Where did it start? Who was hitting the hardest? And how all of a sudden did we get it? Because we have no choice but to interact with other people outside of our community. And that's how stuff passed. You know, there's some ethnic groups that is barely registered and they getting hit, but not like we are. Think about that for a second. Let me remind y'all, they did this to us in the 80s and the 90s about HIV/AIDS. It started out as a gay man disease, the gay man cancer, and became AIDS. Then by the end of the 80s into the 90s, supposedly some damn green monkey over in Africa had it, and somebody went over and had sex or did something inappropriate, ate it or whatever, and it came back and affected the black community. Now they say black women have higher rates of AIDS, HIV. So are you saying that black women screw anything in sight? Are you saying that they sharing men? I mean, think about all the things that they say that we do get thrown in on us. People making a joke about diabetes, high blood pressure. These are things that are not to be joked or made fun of. We have to start taking some pride in ourselves, and we also got to we have to understand that there's some people in our community that are doing risky things. They say go inside and stay in your house. Stay in your house. You ain't gonna miss anything. And another thing, they can shut down these liquor stores in the city of Chicago. And they focus on the west side on this time. And normally they ignore the west side, you know, when it comes down to things. Because west side has always been sort of neglected when it comes down to certain things, unless if it's something bad. But they talk about the liquor stores closing. So it took a damn pandemic for y'all to decide to tell these liquor stores they got to close at a certain time because of some violent behavior or people out in crowds. But when you have people getting shot and people say, hey man, we might have to get these liquor stores out here, oh, we can't do that. Look at the hypocrisies of the city government or these state and federal governments. You don't have enough money, but you found money for this. Either you knew about this virus or you didn't know about it. People are playing with people's lives. just to maintain power. I'm glad Mayor Lightfoot brought up the discrepancies in healthcare. These are things we need to talk about. Dr. King spoke about this many years. Malcolm X and many others. Jesse Jackson was talking about this for nonstop. Because of her sexual preference, this is a sister. She see it affecting her community, and you heard the emotion in her voice when she's talking about it. Because it hurt to know that a lot of people in our community are dying and then probably didn't have to because of politics. Now, you remember the early part of the commentary, I said I didn't vote. So I wasn't feeling, I just, this election cycle, I'm not feeling anybody. But as I sit here more and more and think about it, if they have write-in ballots or this virus does dissipate to a certain level, we got to get Trump out of office, folks. This dude is playing with our lives. And those of you who are Trump supporters, you guys need to stop drinking that Kool-Aid. He doesn't give a damn about you. All them people are dead. I'm pretty sure there's a large number of white folk in that area, in there too. We got to stop falling in love with personalities or promises. This man has a security briefing. He gets intel every day. They put it in his fucking desk and he doesn't read it. That is extremely dangerous. What if this is a biological weapon that somebody set off on purpose? Don't think that this stuff can't happen. I know some of y'all saying it don't matter who we get in office. Yes and no. When it comes to other things, we might be able to get away with, say it may not. But this right here is showing that the people that we have running this country are asleep at the wheel. This man knew about this way back in what they said about September, October of last year. He could have easily put restrictions or shut down flights to certain parts of the globe. Now we race against the clock. Now people are like, we got to find a cure. Some of us might not make it to see it. I hope to God that I don't leave this planet existence anytime soon. I pray that you don't. But we're not in control of this. A lot of people say it's in God's hands. Yeah, it is. But it behooves you not to let the media make certain people the face of it that had nothing to do with transmitting the way this, because we need to call it out what it is. It started in China because of poor eating and sanitary habits. And everybody want to go, I'm going to China, or I'm getting this foreign exchange student, or I'm adopting somebody, or I'm going to try this cuisine. Yeah, okay. I've been warning for years. I was saying that, we need to be careful when we go travel. We need to be careful when we go places. That's not being paranoid. That's just don't know the realities of this world. But I tell you this, I don't feel guilty about saying to people that you won't catch me in an Asian restaurant anytime soon. I mean, yeah, we all have seen videos and heard rumors and stuff, but considering where it started and how some members of the Asian community have been acting, or them trying to make it like black folk is doing the harming them more, because some of the images and video are like, So they trying to make us the face of it, because I keep telling y'all, it goes back to what we saw in South Carolina when Biden got that black support and he kept winning. Everybody kept saying, it's the African American community. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't see it, y'all naive to the world. But I'm telling you, if you ain't been watching the news, watch the news this next week. Watch your local, watch the various cable stations, go online, and watch it with the narrative going to be. Notice when they talk about the virus, how it affect people, they don't show us in the same way they show them. They go to these white families and like the mom and dad are both fighting. Look at them and waving out the window, their grandpa. Or look at the little boy. It's his birthday. He like construction sites, and they put up a little sign say, "Hey, Timmy." But they want to make it like in the black community, it's hitting them hard in the liquor stores, playing into the worst stereotypes imagined. Then you go online, they passing around. They stupid. They don't know when to go in. But white folks out in record numbers. That's where the man put the foot in there. That's why they all putting all these damn memes on social media about her. Y'all ain't do this for no other mayor. Y'all ain't attacking no other well-known homosexual. Y'all disrespecting this sister. And black folks are playing right along, and I'm like, this is why we keep catching hell. Because we don't demand respect. We don't demand anything. We just take whatever people give or put on us, and then we want somebody to come in and save us. Or we're going to pray to Jeebus. Y'all better get off that BS. This is serious. And I am not blaming an entire group of people, black or white or Asian. I'm just pointing out how manipulative the media is right about now. And I warned y'all they was going to make us try to make us the face of this. I had family members and friends saying, "Hey, Harvey, you were right, man. I thought you was being paranoid." I'm like, no, it was right in front of us. It's always in front of us. We always get blamed for somebody else's ills. We don't control our narrative. We don't control what goes in our community, what goes out of our community. As black folk, we should be, we grew up, at least those of us who was raised, we grew up in an environment where we knew we couldn't go everywhere and do certain things. This shouldn't bother you. Oh, I'm at home with children. Now, yeah, I know if you got bills, I know that's nerve-wracking. So if you guys entitled to get some money, get it, pay your essentials. Rent, mortgage, light, gas, electric. All that extra stuff you want to get, or don't take them to be trying to buy no cars, because most of the car dealerships are closed. You wait a few months down the line when they're trying to get rid of these 2020 models. You can go in and get it from a steal. Don't be trying to buy no house now. The economy is about to tank. Wait till the interest rates are low. Learn how to take advantage of things. They're gonna want business because a lot of business ain't coming back. But if you got a business idea, I want to get a grant. Not a loan, I want a grant to open my business so I can contribute to my community or the economy. The economy. Illinois legalized marijuana, and now they saying we don't have enough money. Wait a minute, y'all made so many millions in the month of January and February. That money's Or if you're a black person, you know what? The war on drugs hit our community hard, and this coronavirus hit us even harder. Well, I want to get into the marijuana thing. Well, are you a grower? No, y'all got people to grow it, and we just buy it. But we want to be in the business of making money. We want to take that and strengthen our community. Or we have any sense, we go to the municipality here in Illinois, the state governor's office downstate to Springfield, and lobby for that marijuana money to be put back into the black community as a form of reparations. Y'all decimated our community with poor health care, poor education. You got food deserts and all this stuff that we as black folk should be doing. Now I know there's gonna be somebody who may be white who don't like black folk looking at me like, man, we gotta stop that. We didn't cause this pandemic. A lot of the stuff that happened to us as Americans are self-inflicted. World War II, Pearl Harbor. We didn't think that the Japanese can get all the way over here and do what they did. They caught us sleeping. 9/11, it caught us sleeping while you watching us stop and frisk, harassing us. You let a bunch of terrorists come in this country and commandeer airplanes. You got countries that claim to be our allies but plotting against us every day. But yet when something happened, at some point, you gotta blame somebody. Now, I may make some more videos. Like I said, death in the family. My head, I ain't gonna lie to you, just doing this commentary took a lot of effort. Because I'm still recovering from my surgery. And to be honest with you, it's kind of this past week, actually the past few weeks have been kind of depressing for me. Because when you turn on the TV, you hear nothing about the corona. You hear people whining about, oh, I got to stay in the house, I can't go anywhere. You get tired of hearing that after a while. Now, I thought about saying something funny and humorous, but I don't think this is the commentary I should be doing that in. So I just leave it at this. Please, please be responsible. I don't care which ethnicity it is, but I really want my community to be responsible and not let the media or people manipulate images and make it like we're spreading this around. We didn't call it. We're spreading it to each other because we our close proximation to each other. Generation. We got people who live in the households are multi-generational. We let other people infect us with this shit, and now they're gonna try to make us the face of it. No,